Okay, welcome back to another installment of Music Theory 101. In this video, we are looking at what is a scale, besides something that fish have or something that you use to weigh things with. A scale is, and I'm going to keep this really simple for you guys, is a collection of notes. It's like a constellation. You know, when you look at the sky, there's zillions of stars, but if you want to look at one particular constellation, we're just focusing on the stars that are in that constellation. And similarly, and I'm not saying there's as many notes as there are stars, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that we have in the chromatic scale, in the Western 12-tone system, we have 12 notes, which is a chromatic scale, but we often use fewer than those notes to play music. We might use a pentatonic scale of 5 notes. We might use a diatonic scale that has 7 notes. There's different scales. There's also exotic scales. Or a blues scale. Scales are, they're sort of like limitations that we place in the music and to give it identity and to give the music a form so that it's not anything goes, but we're limiting it so it can have a certain identity and a certain feel. So we have, for example, major scales. We can have a minor scale. And the way we form those scales has to do with the notes that we choose out of all of the 12 notes. And then we're limiting that. Now, when we get to what is major and what is minor, and we get into intervals, which I hope you'll watch those videos because they're listed below, then you come back to thinking about what is a scale. When we use terms like major and minor, that's going to make a lot more sense to you than it does now. And we talk about intervals like a major third, a minor third, minor seconds. Then you talk about scales, you'll understand more about what makes that scale unique and why, you know, scales have a certain type of sound. But suffice to say, there are some different scales. Here's another one, whole tone scale, made up of often heard when people seem to go into a dream or they remember something from the past, or there's going to be a montage in a movie. So yeah, different constellations or groups of notes that are identified, you know, by the composer, by the musician, chosen from all 12 notes that are possible, and then just stuck to within the music so that the piece of music has a certain identity. That's all a scale is, really. So when we get into intervals, we're going to talk about identifying certain members of that group of notes as they relate to the key, as they relate to things like the root and the fifth and the third and the sixth. And we'll get into that when we talk about intervals. So I recommend that you watch that video as well. For right now, we're going to end this video because that's what a scale is. A scale is a group of notes. We go up the scale, we go down the scale. That's it. It's a group of notes that we use to play music. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. If you can, chip in at patreon.com/Kalani and check out what we're doing over there. And thanks for dropping by the channel. And I'll see you in a future video. All right. Thanks for watching.